all my facilities. I've raised money on every single one of my facilities so that I don't have to put any money in. And that is basically what I'm doing. Raising money equals asking people for money. So this is the building itself. I mean, the facility itself, the building itself is not bad. I mean, it's just an old building that needs to be painted. You could always, this is one of the, one of the spaces up here. And there's a big like parking space right here too that's not being utilized for anything. So it'll be interesting to see what we come up with. We might do a feasibility study and talk to a couple people and just see what we should do with this. Okay, but the storage itself is over here. It is not bad at all. It's not bad. There's not really any work. I mean, there's a couple of doors. I think my husband said there's like maybe 3 doors that need to be fixed, and that's it. Now it could be power washed. That's something that we're definitely gonna do is power wash. But other than that, I mean, the facility itself is really actually not bad at all. It's got its own gate, it's all asphalt, it's fine. It's fine. So this is the building itself. You can see this is what it looks like with these doors here. Okay. And okay, so those are the pictures. So we see, yeah, that's the pictures. Okay. So let me just get into the deal analysis. Actually, let me just show you. This is the executive summary. All right. So this is kind of what we put together to show investors. All right. This is the pictures. And it's located in Carrollton, Georgia. Now remember I told you we have 6 facilities in Atlanta, and actually we have several facilities all in this area. So for us to add another facility here is not a big deal. Anyways, our boots on the ground can just take care of it. One day a week over there, do walkthroughs, check on it, clean it up and stuff. Okay. And here's the 5-mile radius. There's 45,000 people within a 5-mile radius, right? So I mean, this is a very heavy. This is really like this is a sub-primary location. If anybody knows Carrollton, Georgia, it's like a booming area in Georgia. It's a suburb of Atlanta. Okay. So yeah, so the way that we found this facility is one of my virtual assistants from Turnkey Acquisitions called him and asked him if he'd like an offer. And he said, yeah, I'll take an offer. So that is how we found the facility. We really just called him up and asked him if he'd like to have an offer. Okay. That's how we found it. How did I fund this facility? Right? I funded it by raising the money to purchase it. All right. I purchased it for $1.4 million. I'll get into that. And I raised the money to buy this facility. Okay. All right. So let me get into the deal analysis so that you guys have an idea of what that looks like. Let me see real fast before we do that. Let me just look at the Zoom questions. Do you need to be an accredited investor to invest in my fund? Yes, it's a 506C, so it's an accredited investors only. How did I find this facility? I told you, we called him up and asked him if he wanted an offer. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, and then Kayla says that would definitely make it into climate control. Exactly. So I think most likely that looks like a climate control building to me, doesn't it? It looks like a climate control building. And then Kayla says, when you say raise the money, can you elaborate on this? So we raised the money as in like I am asking people if they will give me any money to use to buy the facility. Right. That's what I'm doing. When I say raising money, that just means I'm asking people. Now, you have to be able to ask people within your circle. Like you can't go out and ask strangers unless you have a fund, right? A 506C fund. This is one of my facilities inside the fund. The Mission Self Storage brand that I have is my fund, the Self Storage Fund of America. Okay. So this one is going into the fund. So I raise the money from investors asking people if they want money. This is why you see me pitching every single week. It's because I'm asking people to raise money for properties like this. Okay. But you don't have to have a fund. All right. So you can find somebody to partner with. Right. So inside your circle, you should be talking to people that you know and asking them if they'd be interested in like going in with you on a deal. Right. And so when you do that, like if you find 2 or 3 people that say, yeah, I'd be interested in putting some money in, then you could just basically form a partnership and then you could go out and you could buy the property that way as well too. Right. I happen to have a fund, and so I just raise the money through my fund. But all my facilities, I've raised money on every single one of my facilities so that I don't have to put any money in. And that is basically what I'm doing. Raising money equals, right, asking people for money. Okay, starting out within your circle. Now, I don't know if you guys saw, but make sure y'all follow me. That's why I said get into the Facebook group. I'm speaking at the Capital Raising Summit. If you go to capitalraisingsummit.com, I'm speaking there, and September 14th, I think, is when I'm speaking. But that is a conference for people that want to learn how to raise money. So highly recommend checking that out. If you put in S Rossetti into the code, you can get a discount too. Right. So I'll just put that into the chat. It's capitalraisingsummit.com. It's coming up in the next couple of weeks. So you better go there if you're interested, go there. It's in Houston. Okay.
Hey everybody, this is Stacy here. Thank you so much for watching this video. I am here to teach you how to get your foot into this industry. You're watching this video because you want to learn how to get started in self-storage investing, or maybe you own facilities and you want to be a better manager, a better owner. That is what I do, is I teach people how to do that. So please like this video and also subscribe, hit the subscribe button, because that's what YouTube wants. So in order for me to get out the word on how to get started in this industry, I really need your help. Again, I appreciate you listening to me, and I'm here to help you on this journey, and I will see you in the next video. Take care.